I'm just a guy who loves Disney that has way too much time on his hands. If anybody from Disney is watching, please don't sue me. I'm here to rate, review, and describe all of your favorite things from the magical world of Disney. I'm File91e and welcome to my Disney News and Reviews. Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Disney News and Reviews. I'm File91e. And it was an interesting week for me this week, guys. I'm very happy. My two friends, Andres and Emily, got married this, last weekend. That's why I tried to get the show up at a earlier time, but it wound up being pretty much the same. But yeah, congratulations to them. I love you guys. It was a beautiful wedding, and we had a great time in it, dancing on the night away. It was really good stuff. Let's get right to the show. The Where in the World answer from last week was the Enchanted Tiki Room queue, the wait area right before you get greeted by the Barker birds. A lot of people thought it was the Animal Kingdom. It does kind of look like the Animal Kingdom. Adventureland and the Animal Kingdom are very similar. So I got a couple of you that time, so that was pretty good. It was neat. We got the 4th of July coming up this Friday. Next episode I'll do a 4th of July something. I really don't have much 4th of July stuff to review. If you guys have any ideas of some 4th of July items you would like me to review, I will do that. I'm also, since this is July, I want to try this July Jamboree thing, which is pretty much all the different shows and parades and whatnot that Disney has put out in the past and in the present. So if you have any ideas on shows or anything like that, just post them in the comments section below as to what you would like me to review. It can be old stuff, it can be new stuff. As far as that goes, if I haven't seen it, I'm going to have to just look at it via video. Because I haven't seen everything there is to offer, but I do want to have an idea before I talk about it and review it. So just be aware of that. This isn't first-hand news and whatnot. Really scraping the bottom of the barrel, as we get to Disneyland. But I have an idea for a couple ideas for July Jamboree, August, and then in September it should be pretty okay. But if you have any ideas for this July Jamboree month for reviews, whether it be shows or fireworks stuff, anything like that you would like me to talk about, let me know. And one other thing before I get to the to the news, there is a new video out on YouTube, or it's on the internet somewhere. Glenn Keane, the old animator from Disney, he did a lot of stuff. He did the transformation scene from Beauty and the Beast. He's done a lot of great animation for Disney. He's no longer with the Disney company now. He's out on his own, but he recently did a piece of animation which is gorgeous. I mean, he is one of the best animators in the history of animation, and it shows. This new video is called Duet. So just type it in here on YouTube, Glenn Keane Duet, and you'll see it. It looks like sketches, but that's the whole idea of it. And just the stuff that he does, drawing wise, to make it, to get the effects that he wants, are amazing. The music is amazing. It tells a great story. It's one of those great shorts, and it'll be, if this doesn't win some form of award for best animation short, I'd be upset, because this is very good. You'd really have to put some top-notch stuff in here or out there to top it. So very good stuff. Glenn Keane Duet, check it out. Very awesome stuff. So that's what's going on for me this week. Let's get right to the news. As we near the 4th of July, please keep in mind all of the extra experiences Disney will be offering. I mentioned them in last week's video, but please follow the link below to remind yourself of just what all is going on. You don't want to miss out on a special fireworks show or an all-night party, which both of which is actually happening, so check them out. Also, the Monorail system will be operating extended hours during the July 4th holiday. Outside of the extended dates, the Monorail will continue to operate the new schedule introduced earlier this month. Please follow the link below to see the modified schedule for the 4th of July. Frozen is about to take center stage at Disney's Hollywood Studios for the summer. Ooh, Frozen. Disney is responding to the huge popularity of the Frozen movie with a brand new range of experiences at the studios, including an Anna and Elsa procession through the park, a show in the Premier Theater, ice skating in Soundstage 1, and a brand new fireworks show, or Frozen fireworks show, so that's pretty cool. Though the Magic Kingdom's Princess Fairy Tale Hall continues to be the only Frozen meet and greet location at Walt Disney World. So during none of that stuff will you be able to meet Anna and Elsa. The only place you can actually meet and get autographs and pictures with Anna and Elsa is at Princess Fairy Tale Hall in the Magic Kingdom. During the events, Olaf will appear on screen, but not as an in-park character. FastPass Plus is not extended or expected to be part of any of these experiences. The fun begins on July 5th and runs through daily until September 1st. For full details, follow the link below. They really have a good description of what's all is going on. So if you're interested in that, check it out. Disney has launched 2 new VIP tour experiences at Walt Disney World, offering a 7-hour VIP day for guests waiting or wanting to experience a number of attractions geared toward their interests. Good Lord, that was tough to say. The Ultimate Day for Young Families Walt Disney World VIP Tour Experience and the Ultimate Day of Thrills Walt Disney World VIP Tour Experience both cost $299 per person and include access to around 7 rides across 3 of the parks. Both tours include lunch at a Walt Disney World Resort hotel. Tours are offered on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays and can be booked up to 180 days in advance. For more information, follow the links below. They have links to each individual website that are dedicated to each of those. So you got the Ultimate Day for Young Families and then the Ultimate Day of Thrills. I can only assume that they're going to be taking you on all of the the rides and whatnot. And since it's a VIP experience, I guess you'll be able to walk right on. So who knows what's going to happen with that. And in some rehab and refurbishment news, the summer course at the Winter Summerland Mini Golf will be closing for a series of refurbishments this summer, which is kind of ironic. Summer? Yeah, that's weird. I think there's something there. There's something there. There's some joke, but I'm not with it today. The closures will take place from June 30th to July 3rd, so it's happening soon. July 7th to July 11th, and July 14th to July 18th. During the closure of the summer course, the winter course will remain open as normal. So that's pretty cool. At least you'll be able to go down and enjoy the winter course during the summer. See what they did there? See that? Yeah, that was pretty cool. Cinderella's Royal Table at the Magic Kingdom will be closing for a 3-month refurbishment in early 2015. Beginning January 5th and continuing through to March 6th, the Princess Character Dining Experience is expected to reopen to guests on March 7th. So this is next year. Keep it in mind. An alternative Princess Dining experience is the Oscar House Royal Banquet Hall at Epcot's Norway Pavilion. So keep that in mind if you're going down next year. Big stuff happening at the Cinderella's Royal Table. So that's the news for this week, guys. Let's get right to the reviews. Alright guys, this is the final week of the June Jams month. Overall, I think it went pretty okay. I might try it next year to see, if you guys really, I liked it. Let me know if you liked it or not. Because I like talking about Disney music and whatnot, and especially these great CDs. Now, last week I talked to you about the Happiest Celebration on Earth official album of the Walt Disney World. That was pretty cool. I had a lot of older themes as well as some of the newer stuff, as far as when it, that CD came out, which was just after the Animal Kingdom had come out. This week I'm talking about the 4 Parks 1 World CD set, 2-disc CD set. It's the next official album that came, after that. This came out in 2008, and it has a lot of the same songs from the Happiest Celebration on Earth, but they added a bunch more, and I want to be talking mainly about them. So, if you want to watch the other video where I talk about the Happiest Celebration on Earth, you'll get a good primer leading into this one. So I don't plan on talking about Pirates of the Caribbean again, or that song for the 3 minutes that I did last one. So just trying to cut time down because it was a little long last week. But yeah, so let's get right into it. So the four Parks One World CD set, again, like I said, came out in 2008, and it's I think as of right now, the official Disney album. I think actually, I might be wrong. I think there is one that just came out recently. Recently to take that one's place. So it's about 5 or 6 years old now. So it's it's time for it to be history, I guess. So when I go to Disney World next time, I'll have to be sure to pick the other one up. But as when I bought it back in 2011, it was the official CD for Disney World, and I was pleased to see that it had a whole bunch of different tracks. This one was the first one to embrace all 4 parks and really give each park their due, since all the parks have been open for quite some time and had their own different flavors to give. The Happiest Celebration on Earth CD was mainly about it showed the history of the parks as well as the current stuff. So there's not a lot of history on these. It's mainly the stuff that you would hear at the parks at that time. So yeah. So let's get right into it. Disc 1, I want to be reviewing this. Disc 1 and 2, I'll give you my top 5 for Disc 1 and 2 at the end of this thing. Disc 1 starts with the Magic Kingdom Park. And the first track is the All Aboard from the Main Street Station. Now, the Happiest Celebration on Earth started with the Leanne Rimes track, Remember When. This one didn't do that. It just starts right into the parks. This All Aboard is basically just the guy shouting. It's a good lead into the actual parks. Then you got the Welcome Medley, which was one of my favorite tracks, if not my favorite track from last times. It's a great track there where you can hear all of these tunes when you're walking down Main Street USA in the early morning. When you get there at rope drop, you'll hear it during that time too. So very fun song, the Welcome Medley. I talked about it a lot in last week's episode, so I'm not going to talk about it a lot now. So yeah. Then we go into Friend Like Me from the Enchanted Tiki Room, which is kind of weird because technically they had just started. 2008, it was still the Enchanted Tiki Room under new management, but then in 2011 they had the Tiki Room had that fire and they switched it back to the original. So the fact that they still kept this is pretty interesting. There is no a regular Enchanted Tiki Room song. This is the only Tiki Room song in there, the one with Iago, where he's talking about wanting to upgrade the Tiki Room, which is kind of funny that they did upgrade the Tiki Room and then they took him out of it. Just kind of funny that they did that. Number 4 is the Swiss Polka from the Swiss Family Treehouse. Again, it's the song from the organ room in the Swiss Family Treehouse. Very cool stuff. A good song, but I talked about that last show, so let's move on. Then we go into Yo-Ho, A Pirate's Life for Me from Pirates of the Caribbean. Very, very good song. One of my favorite tracks still. I like these medleys that they do, mainly because it gives you the essence of the ride or of the sounds of the ride, because they actually throw in some audio tracks, or audio cues from the ride. When I say audio cue, I mean like when they say yo ho and all that stuff. It's not part of the music. So they throw in some of that in there along with having the actual music in there and a good medley of it. Very, very good stuff. Then we get the first brand new track for this, and it's the All Aboard the Mine Train from the Frontierland area. The area musics are some of my favorite musics out there because they take the melodies of the different rides and merge them all together. And these little tracks like that are really cool. They're good background stuff for my show, so it's really great because they're designed to be in the background, just something you hear to get you in the mood while you're in this area. Adventureland has its own theme, Frontierland has its own theme, and so on. So this one I believe is right around the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, obviously. So very, very fun stuff there. I really dig it, but I love the area tracks. You'll hear that a lot in my videos. Next is the Bear Band Serenade from the Country Bear Jamboree. It's the main theme of the Country Bear Jamboree. It's very fun because the Country Bear Jamboree has a lot of songs, but this one takes precedence and it's everybody's favorite. So the Country Bear Jamboree, Bear Band Serenade, very fun. And then you got the Splash Mountain Medley, which is another great medley. It gives you the essence of the ride. It takes you through pretty much all the different scenes of the ride, from Brer Rabbit going out and into the world, and then coming back into the world, and then zippity-doo-dah right at the end. Very, very cool stuff there. I love how they merged it all together into one good track. Then you got Grim Grinning Ghost from the Haunted Mansion. It wouldn't be an official album without the Haunted Mansion on it. You got to have the Haunted Mansion. This track is great because it is another medley of all the different things that you'll hear. And what's funny is with the Haunted Mansion, the Ghost Host audio cues are just as much a part of the sound and things like that as the actual music is. So it's good that they appreciated that and put that in there in the beginning, because you gotta love the the Ghost Host. You gotta love it. Then we go into It's a Small World. Very, very fun stuff. Small World. I mean, it's a medley of all the Small World areas in there. They take like 5 or 6 of the different areas and put them together, so you get different languages and a good appreciation of what the Small World ride is. However, when you're on the Small World ride, it's 15 minutes of that, maybe even 20 minutes depending on if you get stuck on it, and it can get a little repetitive. But this track is great because it gives you kind of a bite-sized portion, 3-minute portion, and afterwards you're like, oh man, I could really go on Small World. And then you get on Small World and you're like, man, I would really like to get off Small World. Yep. Okay, next is the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. I'm still surprised that they haven't put like Peter Pan in there, or the Snow White, even though Snow White's Scary Adventures isn't there anymore. Or because even on the Disney my Disneyland soundtrack thing that I have, they have a medley of all the different dark rides that they have in there, all the different themes and whatnot. And I really dug that. I thought it was pretty cool because they had parts of Peter Pan in there, along with Winnie the Pooh and whatnot. So they just focused on 2 of these different things from Fantasyland, even though Fantasyland is now expanded huge. It's a huge thing now. So hopefully on the next album they'll give it its due. But the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh is basically just a medley of all the different songs from the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh ride, which is from the movie itself. So pretty much that. A lot of instrumentals, very good stuff. Then you got Solo Pilot Blues from Mickey's Toontown Fair, which isn't there anymore because they took that away to put Fantasyland into it. But the ride is still there. It's Goofy's Barnstormer, and that's where you can hear this. It's Goofy singing the Solo Pilot Blues. It's a very interesting track. It's one of the more funky ones. I don't not like it, but it's not my all-time favorite track, I guess, if that makes any sense. But overall, it's pretty cool. Then you got There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow from the Carousel of Progress. In the last show, I talked about how they had both of the Carousel of Progress themes. One was the There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, and then there's Now is the Time of Your Life. They took that out because right now the official Carousel of Progress theme is There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow. It's classic. It's what Disney liked. It's what the Sherman Brothers wrote. So you got to have that one in there. The fact that this one is is still in this one makes me happy, because Now is the Time of Your Life was good, but it's this song. It's yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Then we get into another newer song. It's the Galactic Anthem from Stitch's Great Escape. This song is pretty cool. It's a very, it's pomp and circumstance. It's a very, I would say democratic sounding song. It's like something that, the government would commission, which is kind of what they're going for. So you would actually hear this during the entrance into the Stitch's Great Escape area. A lot of these themes and melodies, these newer ones on these CDs, you'll hear during the entrance and exits to get you into the mood and mode of the actual ride. So overall, it's a pretty good one. Nothing overtly exceptional. It fits well for the ride, and it's a very good track nonetheless. Now we're getting into Epcot, and they actually gave Epcot a huge cut, which was nice. And it wasn't just older songs now. They actually added some current themes in here. For instance, you got Legacy, which is the Epcot entrance area music. That replaced the old Epcot entrance medley from the Happiest Celebration on Earth, which I still think the Epcot entrance medley from that CD is a lot better than this one. Now this one is good, so that's saying something. The old Epcot entrance medley was one of my favorite tracks from the Happiest Celebration on Earth CD. I urge you guys to go check that out. You can type it in on YouTube and you'll be able to listen to it. Very, very good track. This one's good too. It's more modern. modern, which is more of what you would hear, at the entrance of Epcot, in the Epcot entrance area. So that's really cool. When you're down at Epcot, try to listen for these songs. Actually go and listen to these. But try to listen for these songs. That's what I like to do. To see, to hear it in actual time is pretty cool. I dig that. Then you get one of my favorite tracks from this new CD, and that's Spaceship Earth, playing Spaceship Earth. But that's pretty much it. This is a great track because it takes you through the entire ride of Spaceship Earth. They don't really miss anything. They give you all the the loading area, getting onto the actual ride vehicle itself, going up into the ride, going through all of the experiences, all of the scenes, and all of the background music's there, and then leaving. So overall, it's a very, very great track. It's a little bit longer than you would normally get because it has so many, so much of all those themes. But the themes are great, and I love tracks like this where they actually, I can envision myself while I'm listening to this on the ride. So that's just great stuff. So excellent stuff there by Spaceship Earth. Then you got Ellen's Energy Adventure Medley, which is a medley of all the different sound or bits of music and melodies that you'll hear during the ride. They replaced a lot of the old Universe of Energy songs for this Ellen's Energy Adventure upgrade. So you're not going to hear a lot of that in there. It sounds very 90s kids movie-ish, like almost like it's a throwback to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It just sounds like that to me, like it's a family movie from the 90s. And that's kind of what I guess they're going for, because that's exactly what Ellen's Energy Adventure is. It's a fun little adventure, and you'll hear a lot of this stuff during the entrances and exits of the ride. So you'll hear that as well. So good stuff there, Ellen's Energy Adventure. Then we move on to Destiny from Mission Space. Now, I mentioned this last show where you really only hear this song at the exit of Mission Space, and you hear it basically for a 47-second loop, just on your way out of Mission Space. So, but that's where that song is from, and you can now hear the full song on this CD or that CD as well. So, it's fun because now when I went back and actually watched my old video, and I was like, oh my God, you can hear it. That's pretty funny. Apparently, the ride operators don't like it because of that 47-second loop, because it's just that one time where she's really belting it out, and it gets a little repetitive, to the people working there. I think that's pretty funny, but yeah. So Destiny from Mission Space there, and then we got the last track of Disc 1, which is the Test Track Medley, still the old Test Track Medley, not Tron Track yet. Where you would hear during the loading area and the demonstration area as you're getting onto the actual ride of Test Track. So very cool stuff. This has been. It was one of my favorite tracks from that old Happiest Celebration on Earth. This one not so much, because there's some other ones that I like a little bit better. So that was Disc 1. Now we're going on to Disc 2. So what we got here? Disc 1 starts with the Seas with Nemo and Friends medley. This is one of my favorite tracks of this CD, and it starts off great just because the music in Finding Nemo is very underrated. It's cool because it makes you feel like you're underwater. I feel that if I were to dunk my head underwater, I would hear this music as I'm listening to this. It's just kind of how it is. Finding Nemo didn't have any real overt songs or anything like that in the movie, like actual songs, sing-along songs. So Disney came up with this other song called Big Blue World, and this is one of the things that you'll hear a lot during the at Disney World with Finding Nemo around. You hear a lot of that song Big Blue World because they wanted to make it, really attach that to the Finding Nemo, mythos or whatever it is. So it's great. It starts off very ethereal, very aquatic, and then it goes into when you meet Bruce and whatnot, and then it goes into other things, and like when you meet Crush, that's another little kind of theme they have there, very surfing kind of sounding. and then you go into Big Blue World, and that's where you end. So it takes you through the ride of The Seas with Nemo and Friends, but it's very cool. Whenever I go to an aquarium and I take footage, I always put this music behind my aquarium footage because it's the seas. There you go. Then we go into Sauron, and that's still one of my favorite tracks, probably if not my favorite track on this CD. The Sauron music is some of my favorite ever in all of Walt Disney World. I'm going to be reviewing an app called Subsonic Disney Radio, and they have this, it's basically a radio where they play all these, it's like a Pandora but for Disney or Disney park stuff, which is perfect for me. And they have a Sauron station where it's nothing but the Sauron cue music and the Sauron actual song, which is my favorite. I put that on and I just listen to it, if I ever am doing busy work, because that really is awesome to me. I love the Sauron cue music. I love the Sauron music from the actual ride, and that's what this is, the Sauron music from the actual ride. And I can just envision myself when I close my eyes being there and on that great ride. And I cannot wait to see what they do with this new upgraded Sauron. So here's fingers crossed that things will be doing great. Then we go into One Little Spark from the Journey into Imagination with Figment ride, and this is different than the original one from the last CD, because this is the end music that you hear on the Journey into Imagination with Figment ride. There is no Dreamfinder in there anymore. It's now Eric Idle, who is the Imagination Institute chairman, Dr. Nigel Channing, doing his part. So basically, if you want to hear this at Disney World, just go on the Journey into Imagination with Figment, and you'll hear it right at the end. And you'll be like, oh, it's that same song. Okay, that's interesting. So that's what they did. I think they need to bring back the Dreamfinder. I've seen these Dreamfinder comic books where they kind of have him as a like a steampunk sort of guy. I really think they can make him cool instead of this big fluffy kind of young Santa Claus looking guy. They can make him cool, have him with that goatee and the things like that. Just really kind of give him a little bit of an edge, and I think people will really respond to him. He was too childlike, I guess, to me. I don't know, just like as a kid I didn't really respond to it, but I think children would actually respond to it a little bit more if he had just a little bit of an edge, kind of like in they do it. So hopefully with this new Epcot renovation they'll upgrade that and make him just a little bit cooler. So we'll see what happens there. And then we go into the Honey, I Shrunk the Audience theme from Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, which is not there anymore. It's now Captain EO. But I really want them to bring Honey, I Shrunk the Audience back. I really dug that show. This theme is basically the theme for the Imagination Institute, the Fictional Imagination Institute. That's basically what they're going with this. It's a very, kind of another democratic theme to evoke the feeling of a corporation or something like that. Like this is something that a corporate being would choose, because it's not that exciting, I guess you could say. But yeah, it does what it gets the point across. You really only hear it during loading and unloading, and it's in the background of the imagination area. So you get the feeling that you're in this this big institute, but you really aren't. If they ever bring that back, that'll be nice. Then we're going into the World Showcase area. So we have Canada, Your Lifetime Journey from the Canada Pavilion. Now this is a slightly updated version of the old Canada song, the old O Canada song. Just like they updated the O Canada Circle Vision 360 video a couple years back. So it's cool. It still is the old Canada song, but it starts out a little differently. They give you a little bit more music instead of just going into that main song. So overall, it's pretty cool. Nothing special, but I think this is a little bit better than the older one. Then you got Impressions de France from the French Pavilion. Okay, figure that out. It's the same song, exact same song. They just brought it back over, just compositions and snippets in a medley form of all the different French composers and whatnot. Then you got Golden Dream from the American Adventure, which is the exact same song as the other one, so nothing really special there. Just the same song as you exit the American Adventure. This is what you'll be hearing. Then you'll see. Then you go into the Reflections of China suite, which is another medley. Suite's another kind of version of medley, and it's really great. This is another very underrated track on here. Very, very cool stuff. I really dug it when I was listening to it. It's, you know, orchestral, but it has that twinge of that Asian feel to it. Just really, really cool stuff. I really dug it. Then we got the Three Caballeros from the Grand Fiesta Tour, starring the Three Caballeros. It's basically an instrumental version of the Three Caballeros song from the movie The Three Caballeros, and they take it, you know, because that's the kind of the same song that you hear during that ride. It's eventually, it's kind of, I always say it's the Mexican Small World, because it's the same song going through, and you see all the different stuff. It's a great ride. I love the ride. Don't get me wrong. I love that pavilion. It's my favorite, one of my favorite pavilions in Epcot. But this ride can get repetitive, just like Small World. So that's why I say it's the Mexican Small World. But it was cool that they you know, included that on here. It broke up the whole repetitiveness of the World Showcase section on this CD. So it was nice to see those two, the Reflections of China and the Three Caballeros, on here. Then we're going to Hollywood Studios. You got Hooray for Hollywood, which is a classic. It's where you hear you hear that during the Hollywood Boulevard or the Sunset Boulevard. You know, when you're walking down them in Hollywood Studios. So great stuff. It's one of the best songs on here. I think. I really dig it. Then you got the Twilight Zone Tower Terror theme, which is the exact same as the last one. It's a classic, so it's great. Then you got Star Tours, which is another Star Tours. I would love to hear the updated Star Tours version if they have a new one out, because they did update Star Tours obviously to 2.0. So very fun stuff there. Then you got the Playhouse Disney theme, which I have no idea why this is still on here, because it was Disney Junior when I went back in 2008. Whatever, I don't know. Then you got the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. Obviously we know why they have this on here, because it's the best song ever, right? I mean, Indiana Jones. So, of course they're going to put that on there. Now, it's the same as the last one. Very, very good, you know, medley of all the stuff. It really gives you that, you know, the essence of the ride, just like Twilight Zone and Star Tours. You know, I blew through those because I've talked a lot about them last episode. Then you have this really cool one from the Lights, Motors, Action Extreme Stunt Show. They give you a lot of the background music, as you know, that you hear as they do the awesome stunts, because you're not really listening to the stunts when you're actually watching that, because the engines are so loud. But there is some good music behind it, and it's pretty moving, pretty cool stuff. And you know, they make it sound like an action movie, and it actually looks really, or sounds really well. Then we go into the Animal Kingdom. Even though there's some other great themes in Hollywood Studios, I don't think they're giving these two a fair shake. Anyway, moving on to the Animal Kingdom, which only has 3 now. They took out the Tree of Life 1 theme, which is the best theme, because that evokes the most imagination to the Disney's Animal Kingdom. But they replaced it with, they have one good theme on here, which is really fun. So we got Beauty and the Bees, which is from Beauty and the Beast, which is played from when it's tough to be a bug. During the loading area, I already mentioned that. It's the loading area thing. It's one of the many songs, the song modifications that you'll hear, because they have Annie in there. They have a bunch of different ones, but Beauty and the Bees is one that everybody knows. Then you got It's Tough to Be a Bug from It's Tough to Be a Bug. It's the final song that you hear in the show. It's Tough to Be a Bug. I mentioned that last show, so we're moving on from that. And finally, the last theme on here is the CTX theme from Dinosaur. Another really good song. I listened to this a couple times, and I was listening to it recently, and it became one of my favorite themes on here. It's not, you'll hear it during the, in the loading area, and you get that, it's just a good feeling. I dig it. I thought it was good, so of course, it became one of my favorites, just because I kept listening to it. I don't know why. I just really dug it, and yeah, I really like that ride, and I'm really looking forward to the Indiana Jones and the Forbidden Eye ride at Animal Kingdom, or I'm sorry, Disneyland, because I hear it's a lot like Dinosaur, only better. So I already like Dinosaur, so this one better live up to it. So yeah, those are the tracks on the 4 Parks 1 World CD. I want to give you my top 5 of each CD. CD1, okay, number 5 is There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow from the Carousel Progress. Obviously got to put that on there. Legacy from Epcot, very, very good track. Not as good as the old Epcot entrance medley, but I definitely wanted to put this on here. Very good stuff. Yo-Ho, Pirate's Life for me. One of my all-time favorites is Pirates of the Caribbean, so of course I want to put that on there. The Welcome medley, I think it was my favorite one last week, but there is one that edged out the Welcome medley, and that was the Spaceship Earth song on here. I thought it was great. The fact that they added that, it was long, but not long, it wasn't too long, let's just say that. But I loved the imagination that it evoked from me when I was listening to it, so I really, really enjoyed that. Excellent stuff there. CD2 is the CTX Dinosaur theme. Again, it just became one of my favorites for no reason. I really dig that theme. And then we got the Reflections of China suite. I told you it was really, really good, and I really dug it. And it edged out the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror for me, just because this is a really, really good suite and or medley of all the themes in there, and it just sounds great. I love that kind of I don't want to say foreign sounding thing, but it is foreign to me because I grew up in Baltimore. But I love that I love that sound, and it just sounds really good. Then we got the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular for obvious reasons. I love Indiana Jones, so that's going to be one of my favorites on here. Number 2 is The Seas with Nemo and Friends. This is one of my favorite ones that I like to listen to all the time. And number 1, still holding its place, number 1, is Sauron. So I guess you could say Sauron is my number 1 track for both of those, for the 4 Parks 1 World CD and the Happiest Celebration on Earth, because it still remained number 1 on both. Again, I really like both of those CD sets. The 4 Parks 1 World is great because it has a lot of newer music, and the Happiest Celebration on Earth, it was great because it had a lot of the older stuff. So both had pluses and minuses, and I'll let you guys decide which one's better, because I'm not going to choose, because they both have pluses and minuses that kind of equal each other out. So what am I going to give this CD? I want to give this 5 stars. Again, this is a great CD that I really recommend you guys get. Of course, I'm not going to review 1-star stuff. Eventually I will when I get to Disneyland. I'll have to review 1-star stuff, because let's just be honest here, not everything's perfect. But if I want to do these themed months, I want to do stuff that I want to talk about and hopefully get you guys to interested in all this stuff. So I really urge you guys to go check out these CDs. Even if you don't download the whole CD, on iTunes or whatever, listen to some of the tracks and get them. There's some really good stuff. Check out my top 5. You might like them. You might dig some other ones. I want to hear what what you guys think about these tracks, and overall what your opinion is. So yeah, check that out. Awesome stuff. The 4 Parks 1 World CD set, 5 stars. Check it out. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's Disney News and Reviews. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed June Jams month. I might do it again next year. Let me know if you guys, if you'd like to see anything special during June Jams month next year, because I kind of threw this together right at the last second. It was an idea that got thrown together. But I like talking about music and different things like that, because music is such a huge part in Disney. So we'll just have to see what happens there. So give me your opinion on that. Again, check out Duet from Glenn Keane. It's on YouTube. It's everywhere right now on the internet. So check it out. Really, really great, beautiful piece of animation. Really beautiful piece of animation. So yeah, happy 4th of July to everybody. I will see you guys next week for the 4th of July. If you are going down to Disney World for the 4th of July, keep in mind all the different 4th of July stuff going on then. So yeah. If anybody from Disney is watching, please don't sue me. I want people to go down to Disney World and enjoy your 4th of July celebration. Enjoy all the music that you guys bring to us. You guys, like without that, that will take some of the magic away if you were to eliminate all of the Disney music. But I think you guys already know the power of music in your parks. So yeah, if you are going down to Disney World, be sure to go to allers.net, touringplans.com, wdwmagic.com for all the latest and greatest Disney news. WaltDisneyWorld.com is good too, straight from the horse's mouth. They have everything you'll ever need. So yeah, you guys had a little bit of trouble with it last week, so I'll try to make it a little bit, I'll try to keep it as tough, but I think you guys are going, we'll get this week's. So I'll see you guys next week for another Disney News and Reviews. Special 4th of July edition. So guys, where in the world am I this week? Bye guys.